everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to
Okay, Larry, first opened in 2006. Here's a look inside University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. Oh, now he bowls him over. Oh, he's got a little daylight, and I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20. Touchdown, 49ers. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
Roberto Aguayo now for the point after. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
They go play action here on first down. And incomplete to open things up. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target. And that'll bring up second down. First carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They run again with Hyde on first. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is taken in at the 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Wilson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The kicker, Roberto Aguayo, has it teed up and is about ready to get this one started. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Let's go.
The second down throw for Bridgewater. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Complete. He finds Brate. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
From the red zone now, Bridgewater. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. They'll throw again. Bridgewater dumping it off for Johnson. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal. First and goal here from the 2.
Let's go. Tiger.
They'll run it with Johnson. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. It's the fullback, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They use their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
And that one makes it 14-7. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now running right through him. Now Hoyer. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Here's Hoyer. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Hoyer. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it down deep into Arizona territory. A big 3rd down play there for the Niners. 52 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
First down, a run with Hyde. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And this is incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll look to throw here. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. At the end of one, it's the 49ers with the early lead. Back to Glendale after this timeout. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaunton. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be second down. Johnson, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Let's go! Way 90! Way 90!
They go play action. Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. The 20. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. The point after now for Aguayo. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over.
Let's go!
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle. With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
He is going to find Hill here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that?
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Ray Armstrong coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. And you're getting really close to that point in time, though, with the identity map to go out.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Out comes Brian Hoyer in the offense to take over. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. If this was boxing, you think maybe they would have thought about stopping this one because this defense has been bruised, it's been battered, but this is why they keep the fight going, right? They just got done with a really nice play, showing they still got a little bit left, don't they?
Haven't had many plays that they can clip, put in the film room, and smile about, but hey, there's one.
Clip and save.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Hoyer going to hand it off to Hyde. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Again, it's Hyde. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll give to Hyde. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. A pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Draw play as Hoyer gives to Hyde. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. Give him 8 yards. There's still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are out in the field and they're only thinking one thing: get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looking to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5 and to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
Bridgewater now. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. 3rd down here. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
All right, let's get it going. Here's the first half highlights. Zerline set up to kick it away. The return will start from the 49. He gone as he sprints into the end zone as they take a 7-0 lead. Now 2nd and 8. The pass will be completed into coverage, but a quick 3-play drive ends with a score. 49ers up by 2 touchdowns. Later on the drive, here the pass will be completed into coverage, and this will go all the way for a touchdown. Trailing now by just a touchdown. 49ers on offense, first quarter winding down. Broken coverage here on the pass play, and he'll end up at the 15-yard line before being tackled. 49ers have it later on the drive. Hoyer's on point with the throw, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. That puts them on top by 14. 4th down, inches to go. The hurry throw would be picked off. Cardinals defense.
Now you folks don't know what you're missing. You're missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And, you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Pulled in at the 24. Unable to corral him. He fights through. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. And that one results in 35 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And, Brandon, you know that expression, he just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
On 2nd down, Hyde. And a broken tackle could not free him. Taken down right at the 10-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. First down, Bridgewater. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Johnson on the counter. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The Cardinals on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals cut into that lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
From the gun, Bridgewater. And it's incomplete. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd down following the run. He'll look to throw. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Now high. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the 1st down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers. And on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. To throw now on 1st down. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Eli Rodgers, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the 49ers add on to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height, or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. The kicker, Roberto Aguayo, has it teed up and is about ready to get this one started. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Second down, Bridgewater. And Braith, the tight end's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Over the middle here to Brown. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. First down throw for Bridgewater. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be a second down.
Watch left. Let's go. Line 90.
Bridgewater now on second down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 8 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Bridgewater on first down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And again, it's Bridgewater. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Throwing is Bridgewater. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. There's the stiff arm. And now running right through it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
They run it again with Hyde. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Carry number 20 here for Hyde. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a second and... And you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
The first carry for the Utah man now. It's Joe Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Here we go now. Green 39! Green 39!
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back. Right there at the 43.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Here we go. Green 39!
Back to throw here. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
The kicker, Roberto Aguayo, has it teed up and is about ready to get this one started. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone?
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Now Bridgewater. He's going to let it fly. Push, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals. John Brown, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
So still... of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. And the 49er hands team does its job. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Again, it's Williams. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Here we go. 3-19.
Hoyer with a give. This is Williams. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Play fake. Bridgewater. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Niners, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everybody.